name is Kennedy, and today I'm going to be persuading my audience on why I believe abstinence or refraining from sex until marriage is key. Um, I know I'm talking to a generation that, if we're being honest, majority of people at this stage in life are not remaining abstinent from sex, especially college students and young adults, and now majority of high schoolers are becoming sexually active. A study done by Kim and Rector showed that each year some 2.6 million teenagers become sexually active. This is at a rate of 7,000 teens per day. When I first saw this statistic, it was very alarming to me, just because it's sad that our generation has just completely turned the original context of sex and made it something casual and just a meaningless experience just to do for fun. I know that's not the case for everybody, but majority of people, it's just become something that has to be a part of relationships, or it's just a fun experience to have and doesn't always mean anything to the person. I want to talk about a few reasons why remaining abstinent can really be helpful. The first thing I want to talk about is how it can help you academically. A study done by the U.S. National Library of Medicine showed that teens, high schoolers, who remained sexually pure were more likely to graduate high school than those who were sexually active and attend college as well. This was very informative for me because I had no idea that sex had any correlation with your school performance, but when you are sexually active, especially in high school when you have so much going on, it really takes away a lot of your time and energy and effort and desire. It takes it away from your school performance and puts it into that relationship and puts a pressure, especially when the relationship becomes sexual, to put a lot of effort into the relationship, which takes away from your school performance. This is why a lot of times you hear parents saying to their son or daughter, you need to break up with your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Your grades are really starting to suffer. You're spending too much time with them. And this is true because when you are in a relationship, you do spend more time with that person than if you weren't in a relationship. And this is only greater whenever that relationship is sexual. The next thing I want to talk about is the negative risk that come along with sex before marriage or outside of marriage. There's many physical and mental risks that come with this. Kim and Rector describes the risk of sex as sexually transmitted diseases, out of wedlock pregnancy, and emotional harm. I know sexually transmitted diseases can happen inside of marriage as well, but the risk is greater when it's outside of marriage because you're not always sure who your partner has previously slept with or if they have a disease, because a lot of times it happens within the moment, or maybe just happen to meet that person in a day's time. But when you're waiting until marriage, you're able to get tested before you get married and make sure that each of the persons does not have any diseases, and hopefully when you're in a marriage, that's the only person you're going to be sexually active with. So the risk for those diseases to spread is very slim. The next thing is the out-of-wedlock pregnancy. And I just want to say I believe that every baby is a blessing. No baby is a mistake. I know, if we're being honest, most people have had sex, and I totally do not tune me out because I think this speech is for you as well, because I totally believe in second chances and new beginnings and fresh starts in the grace of God, and it's never too late to start over. And so I have no judgment against people who have had children out of wedlock. I just think most people would agree that it is ideal to have a child within the marriage. It's better for the child, and to just ensure that this is the person that you're spending forever with and you want to raise the child with. Now the emotional harm. A lot of times whenever you have sex with a person, it creates this bond between the person, especially the first person that you have sex with. You'll have this bond with them. And so when something goes wrong in a relationship or a breakup occurs, your life counts says that repercussions can occur when there's a breakup that will open you up more likely to being depressed, anxious, have guilt, shame, and all of those negative emotions nobody wants to experience. You have a greater risk of experiencing those when you are sexually active before marriage. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said they described abstinence as the surest way to avoid transmission for sexually transmitted diseases, and I think this is perfect explanation, just to protect yourself and protect others. So by making the choice to wait until marriage. Next, I want to talk about the benefits that there are to remaining abstinent. There are many benefits, but one great benefit is it improves your relationship, because when you're not sexually active, you're allowed more time to build on the relationship, focus on the bond and seeing if you're compatible, and really just building on that connection rather than worrying about the sexual relationship part of things. You're able to focus more on your relationship. And Dr. Hendricks did a study that showed the people who waited until marriage to have sex said that their marriages were more satisfying and happy because they were able to build that firm foundation beforehand, and instead of trying to build their foundation while becoming sexually active, they were able to already have that firm foundation. I know that's not always true. I've seen many successful marriages who were sexually active beforehand, but it is just so great to be able to get married to someone and know that you guys waited for each other and are able to look that person in the eye on your wedding day and know that you saved yourself for that person. And it's just a great gift that you can only give to that person, and only they can experience that. It also protects yourself just from all of the risks that I mentioned earlier, but also protects you from becoming hurt when you're used. If you give yourself away to someone who is not, in fact, the person that you'll spend forever with, a lot of times that can really damage somebody. So it's just best to wait until marriage when you know for sure this is the person you're going to be spending forever with. So this is all that I wanted to share with you guys. I hope I've given you some insight on why it is so important to stick to God's design for sex, which was created for marriage. It's a beautiful thing and should be enjoyed within the context of marriage. And it's never too late to start now. Thanks.